Did you know that this handmade Persian rug behind me is made up of almost 2 million knots that were tied by hand one by one by a skilled weaver and took about a year to make? Now those are just some of the facts about this handmade Persian rug, and in this video we're going to discuss several reasons that make handmade Persian rugs really special and why you should choose them over machine-made rugs. So let's get into it. Hi, I'm Shawn with Catalina Rug, and I'm a third-generation Persian rug expert, and our family business, Catalina Rug, has been selling rugs online now for over 25 years. We've actually bought and sold over 30,000 Persian and Oriental rugs, and for me, growing up in the business, I've learned how to have a deep appreciation for these beautiful works of art and extensive knowledge that I'm here to share with you to hopefully make your buying decision a little bit easier, or at least you can learn something about handmade Persian rugs. So the topic of our video today is going to be why choose a handmade Persian rug over a machine-made rug, and we're just going to go over some of the different benefits you get from buying a handmade Persian rug. So hopefully you find this interesting, so stick around and we'll get into it now. Alright, so one of the first benefits I want to get into is about the craftsmanship and tradition that you're getting when you're purchasing a handmade Persian rug. Now, when it comes to a Persian rug, there's really generations of expertise that's inside of the rug that you're purchasing. The Persian rugs are crafted by artisans and weavers, and their skills have been passed down from one generation to another. The technique that these weavers are using are centuries old, or maybe sometimes even thousands of years old, of knowledge that has been passed down to the weaver that's making your rug. And pretty much when it comes to every knot that's made into the rug, the colors that are chosen to create the rug, the design of the rug, these are all crafted with care, which makes Persian rugs truly one of a kind and a real piece of art. Now, if you compare that to a machine-made rug that's mass-produced, has zero human creativity and really nothing handmade about it, there's nothing when it comes to real expertise and craftsmanship. It's just made by a machine, of course. So continuing with the theme of craftsmanship, I want to talk about the time and effort that goes into making every single handmade Persian rug. So depending on the size of the rug, whether it's small or very large, it could take anywhere from months to years to complete a single rug. And there's a lot of steps that goes into creating a rug, starting with the wool or the silk, the material that's used to create the rug, that has to be hand spun. So this is all done by hand. And then the wool or the silk has to be dyed with natural colors, which is also done by hand. And then if it's like a more city rug, or what we call traditional rug, for example, like a Tabriz or Esfahan, these rugs are made from blueprints that are sketched out by designers. And if the rug is a village rug or a tribal rug, for example, like a Bakhtiyari rug or a Qashqai rug, the designs come from the mind of the weavers. And then, of course, the rug has to be made. So knot by knot, every single knot that's used to create the rug, when you look at the back of a Persian rug, every single knot you see is made by hand. And I think that really ensures that Persian rugs that are handmade have unmatched quality and just another level of attention to detail that goes into making them. And of course, if you compare that with a machine-made rug that's made in just a few hours, it's not even comparable, the time and effort that goes into making a handmade Persian rug versus a machine-made rug. So another big benefit that you get with a handmade Persian rug, is one of my favorite benefits, is the cultural significance, the cultural meaning behind every single rug. And if you look at the different regions that Persian rugs come from, so Persian rugs come from Iran, and if you're looking at, for example, tribal rugs and village rugs, they're going to feature a lot of bold patterns, a lot of geometrical designs. For example, Hariz rugs or Bakhtiyari rugs. And then if you want to find more floral and more like intricate patterns, then you could look at city rugs. These are Persian rugs that are made in cities, for example, Isfahan or Tabriz or Kashan. And a lot of these are going to have a lot more detail in them. So each region that the rug is made comes with a different cultural significance and different style. And basically these are designs and patterns that were created by the weavers or the master weavers based off of the things in their region, and the weaver's life and the history in the region, and just the scenery in that area. And this is all kind of taken from the weaver's mind or the master weaver's mind and put into the rug from that region. So it's just giving you a piece of the history inside of the rug, and I think that makes it a really beautiful thing and very culturally significant. Whenever you buy a Persian rug, you're buying a piece of the culture and a piece of history, really. And of course, if you compare that with a machine-made rug that have generic patterns, very repetitive, and obviously no deeper meaning into them, they just are keeping up with the modern trends. So something else you get from a handmade Persian rug that you don't get from a machine-made rug is the pride of ownership. And what I mean by this is that every handmade Persian rug, because it is a work of art, it is truly unique and one of a kind. So the rug that you own is the only one out there, which makes it just your rug. And I think this is what makes every Persian rug the focal point of a room and the topic of conversation when people come over and they see the rug, and really lifts the aesthetic of any room and makes the owner feel really proud. All right, so the next topic I want to talk about when it comes to choosing a handmade Persian rug versus a machine-made rug is the materials that are used to make the rug. And of course, when it comes to handmade Persian rugs, they're made with natural and premium materials. So for example, the pile of the rug, the part of the rug that you usually walk on, is a lot of times made with wool, and sometimes is made with wool and silk if it's a more high-end rug, or just pure silk. And then the foundation of the rug, where you see the fringes, or like the part of the rug that just runs through the rug, which you can't really see from the top. This part is a lot of times made by cotton, and sometimes it's made with wool if it's an older rug, and if it's a really high-end rug, it's made from silk. But regardless, the materials that are used to make Persian rugs are always going to be these natural fibers, and they're going to feel really nice to the touch. They age really well. They just look better and better over time. They're very durable, and that's why Persian rugs last hundreds of years. And the material that's used, especially the wool, is hypoallergenic. Now, if you compare that to machine-made rugs, where a lot of times the synthetic material is used, they're going to be most of the times nylon or polyester. They wear out very quickly, and of course they just don't look nearly as nice, and they don't feel as nice to the touch, and not nearly as durable. So the other part of the materials that are used to make the rug beside the fiber is of course the dyes that are used to make the colors of the rug. The biggest thing when it comes to handmade Persian rugs is that a lot of time natural dyes are used to make the rug, which are much more vibrant, and they just age a lot better over time. The natural dyes are often made with vegetables or flowers and just different material from the region where the rug is made. And sometimes they'll have a little bit of variations within the dyes, which just adds to the artistic look of the rug, and it makes the rug feel more unique and alive. And the main thing is that natural dyes in handmade Persian rugs makes them just look better over time when compared with machine-made rugs that use chemical dyes, and they have flat colors that will age much faster and just really fade much faster compared to the dyes that are used in Persian rugs. So the next topic I want to talk about when it comes to handmade Persian rugs over machine-made rugs is of course that handmade Persian rugs are durable, and essentially they're built to last decades of use, if not centuries of use, if they're really well taken care of. And that's why you find handmade Persian rugs in museums that are hundreds or thousands of years old. And that's because the rugs are again made with high quality materials that we discussed earlier. The craftsmanship that goes into them, they're made knot by knot, which makes them very durable. And oftentimes, this is one of the most beautiful things about handmade Persian rugs, is that they become family heirlooms, and they get passed down from one generation to another. Now, if you compare that with a machine-made rug that's made with synthetic materials and just a fast production process, those rugs, typically they'll last a couple of years and they have to be replaced constantly. So I think that's one of the things that makes handmade Persian rugs so special, is that they will really oftentimes outlast the owners and they'll stay in their families for generations to come. So just as an example, the rug that's behind me here is a Isfahan Persian rug that's about 120 years old. And honestly, if you look at it up close, you can't even tell that it's more than 10, 20 years old. Although it's been used over many decades, it's been through many different families' homes and laid on the floor and walked over, still looks absolutely amazing. So just another example of how Persian rugs are really built to last. So something else that makes Persian rugs really special is that over time, they just look better and better. They really age gracefully, just like a bottle of wine. And that's because of the natural fibers that are used to make the rug and the dyes that are used to make the rug. They settle over time. So when you look at an antique Persian rug like the Isfahan rug behind me, it looks better than it did when it was first created. And so because of that reason, I think that you get to have the best of both worlds. Not only do they last really long, but over the years, they're gonna even look better. Now you compare that with a machine-made rug that wears out quickly, it loses its luster in the first year or two. It's not even comparable. Again, handmade Persian rugs will outlast and they'll look even better over time. So if you watched the video so far, maybe you're thinking to yourself, okay, Shawn, these rugs sound fantastic. They're made with superior craftsmanship and they represent this culture, and the materials that are used in the rugs, they all sound great. They're gonna last a long time, but there is a big upfront cost to them. And this is true. But the way I think about it is that Persian rugs, if you buy the right one, the one that is like good quality and from a trusted dealer, and they're truly authentic, they're really a long-term investment. Now, a couple of things goes into this. Of course, you have to make sure that your rug is kept in great condition. So you want to make sure you're taking care of the rug. And also, if you are buying a rug that is truly unique and it's going to be high quality, not only is it going to retain its value, but also once it becomes an antique rug, so it gets to about 100 years old, the value of the rug can appreciate. So those are some of the reasons that you can really look at Persian rugs as an investment compared to buying a machine-made rug that is really money that you're going to be spending to consume something. It's going to be a product that you're just going to have to frequently replace, where a Persian rug is a one-time purchase, it's for the long haul, and it could become something that could appreciate in value if you buy the right one and also if you take care of it. So this concludes our video. I really hope that you enjoyed this video, and hopefully now you have a better idea of why you should buy a handmade Persian rug over a machine-made rug, if you of course have the budget for it. And if you want to learn more about Persian rugs, check out the other videos we have in our channel. And I also invite you to visit our website, catalinarug.com, where we have thousands of handmade Persian rugs in stock. And please like and subscribe the video, leave a comment if you have any questions, and I'll see you in the next video.